We are creeping closer and closer to that Paralives early access release date. It is coming the 8th of December, and they decided to treat me. They were like, this weekend is actually gonna be for you. Not only did we get an Animal Crossing New Horizons update announcement, we also got a little look, a video time-lapse of creating 2 different paras in Paralives. And you all know character customization, character creation is one of my favorite things in video games. I have always loved it in simulation games. I also love it like outside of simulation games. So I, for one, am very excited to watch this video and kind of go over like everything that we can see in the paramaker. Just before we do hop into it though, I want to preface this video with, obviously last week I made like an everything you might have missed about Paralives. That was also stuff that I had missed because I wasn't like actively following the Patreon. I'm not like signed up on their Patreon, so I do just want to give a heads up that I do kind of want to go into this game not knowing everything. I don't want to know all the little like details, and whilst I very much appreciate you lot like when I'm making videos like this being like, hey, they've said like this is going to be a thing or this thing has shifted whilst in development, that is important for me to know, and obviously it relates to the video. But I did also want to give a heads up that like I don't know everything there is to know about this game, nor do I want to. Like when I actually get my hands on, I will be purchasing this in early access, and I actually want to explore it. I think so much fun of life simulation games are being able to like play it yourself, test out, and like try and create what you want to create, see what the limitations are, see what like takes you by surprise and what is a really cool element of the game. For example, on that video, one of you said that they actually don't have like a particularly set like masculine or feminine frame, so you can obviously choose between female, male, non-binary, and then also additional like gender settings, but kind of all the clothes are kind of going to work on each frame because that was the way it was designed. That is ace. I love that. Thank you so much for pointing that out, and also it means that I can go into this video obviously with that bit of context, so I very much appreciate that. So we're gonna watch it through together, and then I'm gonna pause and kind of like give my thoughts, how I'm feeling, and also just talk about like the stuff that I personally think like might be included from what we see from this. So first off, we have Charlie. Okay, this is like full on like sped up. I wonder if there's an option to, okay, there is a playback speed. That is good. This is really quick because I want to get into the details, but this makes sense because obviously they're just like creating someone from scratch, and they kind of like want to show off like how it actually is to make them. But I think because it's so sped up, you can't really see the sliders and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we're gonna honestly have to like slow this down from the get-go. Okay, facial details. I like that. You obviously have the like opacity of facial details, which is ace. Then we get into the tattoos where you have the scale, the flip, the rotation. Also kind of shows you the mapping of the character, which is pretty cool because I've never like made custom content or anything like that, so I don't really know how all of that works, but it's cool to see the mapping actually on the para. Also, they're different in height for sure. Both of these paras are non-binary from what I can see, and then you have an owl, and I don't know what the little symbol is in their voice, but only 2 voices by the looks of it. You have different ages. I love, can I just say, all the piercings. They said that this was like a sporty para and then a more alternative para. I really love the piercings, and also just like alternative like clothing and accessories like being included from the get-go. Like that's really nice. That kind of shows me that they are dedicated in like having a wide spectrum of people and a wide spectrum of representation, and I think that is really cool. We are gonna have to slow this down. We're gonna go into 0.25 speed. This little plus makes me think that you can definitely have like maybe an unlimited or maybe like a range of like skin tones that you can actually save yourself. does make me think that the color wheel may come into play with skin tone, which will be really, really nice to see. I'm hoping along with the color wheel, then we'll also have like warmth and coolness, etc., just so you have like more of an expansive range to play around with. Then we have the body presets. So we have more muscular paras. I think body shapes and body weight are probably one of the things that The Sims has like struggled with most in its life, and I feel like there's not enough variation in body shapes and they don't look super realistic. So I'm definitely excited to see how they play around with like fat distribution and how bodies actually look and like how realistic they look. I think that is going to be super, super interesting. Ooh, also, I want to check out the ages. So I think one of you did say that they were going to have preteens. A lot of people have wanted them in past life simulation games. I've just never really understood the hype for them personally, but I do think obviously having them from the base, having them from the get-go, obviously means that they know that this life stage is going to exist and therefore they're going to create stuff for it. I would like the preteen to have like kind of different stuff from children and also teenagers to be like individual, but I would also then like a mix of the clothes that both of those age ranges has, so it is, and it kind of feels like that in between stage, you know, moving from one area of your life into the next area of your life. Then I'm assuming this is teen, this is like young adult, like older adult, and then elderly. I've spoken about the gender, so you have female, male, non-binary. I have actually like gone over other stuff in the past when it comes to Paralives that I just like straight up can't remember because it's been so many years in development, which isn't a call out. I'm glad that they've taken their time with this game. I am never a person to be like up in arms when a game gets delayed or anything like that, because I'm just like, yeah, as long as the developers don't have any time crunch and they're also not being like worked 1,000 times harder, and also it means that it's going to be a better game, like, yeah, absolutely take all the time that you need. Then you have like all of the sliders over here, and I think this is how they're doing it, which I've kind of stated before. It'll be interesting to see how like intuitive this is for me. It definitely looks cool, especially with the side profile. Obviously you can change the side of their feet, you can, it seems like raise or lower their butt, which is something that I was never really expecting, but you know, you could have a tight little tush if you wanted to. Then you have kind of like the mass of the arm and the stomach. You have maybe where the head is gonna sit, which could have an effect on like how long or how short the neck is. This might be how like big the head is in the sense of like, you know, from like all angles. And then this may be the rotation of the spine potentially. Obviously I think this is a hand slider as well, which is fun. The fact that you will have that level of customization. We aren't seeing all the body presets, so they kind of go straight from that, so they don't really show off like any of these from the get-go, and they don't really scroll through the body presets. That's kind of already, this is the thing, has like all the sliders already been used? Because that was something that I would have really, really loved to see, like them actually also making the para like with sliders, whereas this kind of feels like it's more just showing off the clothes and style. Different types of outfits: casual, work, sport, pajama, which someone also said on my last video they were just gonna have like one of these per category, but from like playtester feedback, etc., they've actually upped that. So in early access you'll be able to have more than one casual outfit. I'm not a huge fan of this. I kind of would prefer them just to wear like boxers or like a pair of leggings or something. That might change though. Again, this is like pre-early access, and then early access is going to be coming the 8th of December. I really, really like the way that this top looks. Ooh, there's even more. The little cardigan, the body warmer with nothing on underneath, which is definitely a choice. I love this little cardigan. I think that is so cute. Okay, so those are the color swatches, and then you can change the t-shirt underneath. So this is kind of showing like what can be underneath. Again, I don't really know how they can make this better, but I hope that it's not just like a naked body that's there. Maybe just like underwear, but then that suggests like they'll be wearing underwear underneath it, which they are. Like, they're not actually completely nude, so I guess you could just have them wear underwear. The color swatches went too fast. Oh, so these are the different options. So you have t-shirts, shirts, hoodies, bikinis, or I guess also underwear. PJs, this has a little moon on it, or maybe that is just shirts, and then jackets and like dress up potentially. These are how the color swatches are currently working. You also have an ad, so you can save your own like color swatch presets, which I love. I love that customizability. It looks like you can also favorite these. This has a little star, so if you can actually go through these by looking at favorites, that will honestly make my life so much easier. Again, this is like the underlayer that you can have underneath, and it has swatches. Again, one thing I will say, I always think that these are piercings. Like, I just feel like the mouth corners are a little bit too dark right now. I think it's just like in comparison with like the rest of the para's face, like that's the darkest point. Apart from like the eyelashes, just kind of wish that they'd lighten up like the corners just a little bit, because I think my eyes just go there. Not too many glasses, but it's very, very early, obviously. I'm not gonna complain about that. It feels like they've got a lot of like the basics. This is kind of accessories, so you have hats, glasses, jewelry, necklaces, piercings, earrings, and then also like this little plaster, which makes me think that you can have like additional accessories on your face, which again, absolutely love. Then we have the head accessories. We've already kind of seen the little deer one. You have a backwards cap. I really like how the hats fit. I will say, from all the hats that I have seen, really think they fit the para's head very, very well. Multiple black swatches as well, which is nice. Then we got some grays. You got some brown with like highlights, lowlights. I don't know the specific term. Again, obviously we're getting color wheel, so that is really gonna add like obviously a lot of customization to this. The eye colors and different eye presets. You can also randomize them. You could also have heterochromia, because you don't have to have them mirrored, which is a nice detail. We also have eyebrows. These look like maybe like eye bags and then potentially like makeup. I'm not sure. Then this is the nose, the lips, the face or ears potentially. Oh, so they have sliders for the eyebrows, so you can change like the width and the height of the arch and move them like in or out of a face. Then you also have facial hair and skin details down here. This is the tattoos, makeup, hair, and then I think this is, yeah, like facial details. There are more eyes. I'm always of the belief, like, give me as many presets as possible so that I can like go off one of these and then like sculpt the eyes myself as well to get more character out of them. Eyebrows, they actually feel super modern, especially these ones, like the brushed up ones. Love those. You also have the option of like no eyebrows and like a lighter eyebrow, upper eyelid pinch, eye in a corner width and eye in a corner height, mouth width, upper lip size and lower lip size. When you click into the upper lip, you have upper lip width and upper lip middle width. Looking a little bit like Angelina Jolie right now, I will say, Charlie. Oh, and then you can play around with it kind of on this point as well, which again, I really like the mapping. I think like the axis makes it so easy to like play around with and be able to see what you are actually specifically doing on the para. Love that nose. There's also different face presets if you want them, different cheek presets. It does kind of look like it plays around with the jaw as well when it comes to the cheek presets, cheekbone size, cheekbone height, and then the jaw is also separate. So it does feel like the cheeks did slightly change the jaw, but you can then go back and like look at the jaw in more detail. Oh, I kind of wish this was just that little bit slower. I feel like I'm missing out on so many details. The mapping is so nice for like visualization, because sometimes it's so hard to see in a character customization like what is actually being changed, but like here you can physically see it on like the 3D model, which again, I don't even know if this is actually going to be included in like the released version, but I kind of hope that it is. Quick little look at some of the jewelry. The little alien. Ooh, Ooh, I like this like ear cuff thing that they have going on. Daisy over here. Oh, yes. It looks like they also have a mirrored option for this. So you could just have one ear pierced or the other ear pierced. Oh, yes, please. That is something I've been wanting for so long. Love that level of detail. Then we have different trousers. So we got some cargos, leather. He was wearing these fugly jeans, skinny jeans with the shirt around them, ripped skinny jeans, a lot of skinny jeans, I have to say. Kind of hoping that they're not all just skinny jeans for my sake. The Nike Blazers, the Converse, the Vans, the Crocs, the wellies, body accessories. Okay, nice. These definitely look like some fishnet tights. You got the like biker shorts. Kind of hoping for some more fishnet accessories like long tops, short sleeve tops, vests that just like go underneath so you can like layer up. Also different types of socks rather than just tights. We all know how we feel about my socks in video games. Not the best selection of socks I've ever seen, but I guess we do have a color wheel, which again, I would like to see like if you can add patterns on the color wheel or whether it is just like colors. Have they shown the color wheel off on this? It feels like they're just kind of showing off like the different color swatches rather than you actively going in. Oh, there we go. There's the color wheel. Shoe color 1, shoe color 2, shoe color 3, sole and lace. It does just feel like it is colors. I don't think that they've added specific patterns, but you can do it by swatches or you can also do it like traditionally on the wheel itself, which obviously means more customization. It also just uses the codes, which is quite nice. Very easy to like copy and paste codes so that you know you are getting like the right color for it to match and you don't solely have to focus on like just the wheel itself or just like copying and paste in like a click and drag fashion the way that we used to in The Sims 3. Eyelashes over here. Some of these I like. I like how they look on the para. I think they look more natural on the para than they look like actually in the icon down here. Like these ones actually look like super thick, but then when they put them on the para, they actually look really nice. You've obviously got your eye depth, so how far they stick out like from your para's face. This is the hairstyles again. Maybe it is just like black is the default swatch. I think with a dark background as well, it's kind of not helping with being able to see like the actual hair. Whoa, that one is so long. That was so interesting. Then we got some makeup. So you got dark circles. I will say the dark circles look a little bit too much like makeup. I feel like they're meant to be maybe like kind of shadows under the eye. Maybe it's just the color that they chose specifically though. The forehead presets. Ooh, I like the little indents then. Feel like we don't see those very often. This is the thing though, like it feels realistic in like the shading. I know a lot of people don't like the art style. I actually think that they've been able to play around with it a lot more in this art style and I am a fan of it. Match with hair color, you've got mustaches, little patches, the full-on like stubble and then full-on beard. This doesn't have a mustache on, which makes me think you might be able to mix and match. I would love it if you could like put a stubble on and then have like a mustache over it. I've always wanted that level of customization when it comes to facial hair. Also, this para is non-binary, more femme presenting, however, can have facial hair. So I'm assuming that maybe feminine female paras might also be able to have facial hair. Fingers crossed. Facial skin detail. The amount of scars available. I think this one is over here on the cheek. You've got this one across the eye, across the bridge of the nose. I will say again with like kind of the decision here, like with the highlight like on the nose being kind of similar and like really bright, it kind of looks the exact same as the scar, so it's kind of difficult to see actually where the scars are. The highlight definitely looks a little bit too similar on the icons, but then when you actually put it on the para, you can obviously then, I'm assuming, oh look, the like masking of it, I'm assuming you can change the color of like the scar. Yeah, there we go. So It's just the white looks a little bit too similar to the highlight for me. You have kind of like wrinkles, so you can have some up on the bridge of the nose. You can have your laugh line creases across the face. Also this area. I haven't seen any dimples, which there are piercings. There's like dimple piercings, but I haven't seen actual like any dimples, and that is something I would love to see. And then this is acne. I'm assuming you can have this acne like everywhere if you want to. Like you can maybe double up these swatches, but maybe not. I don't know if there's a layering element to it. I love the blush. I have no complaints about this blush whatsoever. You've also got like a face mask version, and then like the clown makeup, sun cream. I think the blush is so cute. I think it looks really good. Obviously with like being able to play around with the opacity and also just kind of choosing whatever color you want. I think people who really, really enjoy customization when it comes to makeup are gonna be able to like play around with this. I think the makeup is like really on trend as well. You have the more glossy stuff, then you have the more matte stuff. You have like the two-tone lipstick, which I definitely think you can make look like natural lips as well. The eyeliner, again, you've got some more heavy stuff, but then you've definitely got more of just like cat liner. I would maybe like to see a couple more that are like more fun, but again, with pops of color and having a color wheel, you can kind of create that fun yourself, and this is only like the base game, you know? I know a lot of stuff is coming for free like in the future of this game, so I definitely feel like small stuff like makeup etc can definitely come in future updates. I think the free placement of the tattoos is iconic, like game changing. Love the customization. Your decal is out of bounds and might be cropped, so it doesn't actually like go down, I think, to probably where you would expect it to like go down to. It could just be cropped because of like how the mapping works. They can't make it like one continuous flow, but I mean, I would prefer a tattoo to look slightly cropped than just like not be able to like place them where I want to. You can also like resize them, you can change the angle of them, you can change the color of them, the scale. You can really get into the nitty gritty. I think that was showing that maybe, oh no, it was just glitching out. The tattoo was like, I don't want to do that right now. I'm tired of this, grandpa. But then they did manage to scale it down and placed it further up the shoulder. I think this is honestly the mapping stuff. I know I keep going on about it, but I think it's going to make custom content creators like lives so much easier. Let me know if you are a CC creator and you're excited by like the tools that you currently see in the game and like how you think they're gonna like work for you. They changed this pirate's gender, but that didn't change anything about their body. A win. And then this is the kind of personality. So you have, I think, 7 points in total, maybe, because there's 3 currently in physique, but you have 4 points left. So you can add to mind, creativity, and charisma. Then you also have vibe, overjoyed, gloomy, energetic, serious, jester. So those are kind of like traits in a sense, kind of how your para, I guess, goes about the world and like interacts with other people and how they maybe like react to other people. Social perk, good at being alone, good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, or good at cooperation. Needs to be alone from time to time, tries not to be in a group all the time. Being alone gives them powerful bonuses, so I'm assuming like skills and stuff like that go up at an accelerated rate. Oh my goodness. They're really not giving anything away. Pyrofolk enjoys being in a group and helps others with their skills and other social interactions. They really need a group to shine. Maybe a bit of difficulty with other stuff if they're not in a group. All about romance and romantic relationships. Easier time flirting and can flirt with better cards. Makes friends easily. Easier time being social interactions with their friends. And then talent. Jack of all trades. Music, fitness, food, technology, visual arts, or good at nothing. Interesting. Again, these are just things that are going to be like worked on in the future. Like, yeah, you might think there's a limited amount right now, but I'm assuming that they will continue to like add stuff like this. Loves to move, dancing and exercising, happy when they move, and their hygiene need decays slower. Cleaning habits, normal, sloppy, or neat. You can choose vegetarian. Yes, it is not a trait this time around. Sleeping habits, normal, early bird, late night owl. And then this is the second para. Yeah, they didn't really go into any depth with like the body sliders or anything like that. I do love the undershirt and like layering. I think that's really, really cool. Different lengths of nails, different shapes. You do just kind of click on the body again to like bring up like the kind of things that you want to get them dressed in. Love those boots. Those are so cute. Then we see some of the necklaces, some of the chokers that we talked about in the last video. This very oversized necklace over here, but also some like very like regular size necklaces, which I am glad about. Some bracelets available, and you can stick them on either wrist. Obviously, you can also change the color. You also have rings, like facial septum piercings. I don't know what's the difference between these two. Maybe like full body piercings, although this is a necklace, so I'm not sure. These are earrings. Oh, so those are body piercings. I don't understand where the other ones were, because now two of them have disappeared, but that's okay. We have some facial piercings. I don't really know why a red nose is listed under facial piercings, but yeah, cool. I love the like across the nose piercing. I think that's so cool. You have like your Cupid's bow pierce. You can have like snake bites. Again, the kind of like dimple piercings. I would love to see dimples like as a skin detail, like either one dimple, two dimple, and then like different areas on the cheek where the dimples can be. I love being able to stack the piercings as well. So cool that you can just like have as many piercings as you want. I am very much appreciative of that. Love the mullet. Think the hairs. Honestly, the shorter hairs look so good. And I'm still like gobsmacked by the length of that like other hair that we saw. I do really like the hairs. I think the art style works and lends itself really, really nicely to the hairstyles in this game. I'm excited to actually like get into it and check them all out myself, which will be interesting to see if they're actually gonna like release like a demo or something like that for like character customization so that we can like play around with like making paras before the actual game comes out. I don't know. They haven't said anything about that right now, but again, they're kind of just like playing with the eye shape here. Definitely looking forward to just making different like individual paras. I love the noses as well. I think the noses are super, super cute. Different types of chins as well. I don't think the last para showed that, but you kind of got like more of a dimple chin over here. Then they chose one, yeah, that kind of have like a different shadowing on them. I'm gonna be spending so much time making paras in this game. I just know it. Warning sign here, which makes me think that you need to have at least one of these maybe in each of them. And then we've gone for gloomy, good at being alone and visual arts, is a vegetarian, and a night owl. No mirror again, which I know some people don't like when like a creator doesn't have a mirror, because you kind of like to see what it looks like from the back. But I guess now that you can freely rotate a character, it's not like too much of a big deal, because I rotate characters all the time when I'm making them. So because she is more athletic, she's like moving around a little bit more, and I think just because he like likes being alone, maybe he's a little upset right now that he's around another para. Energetic, and then on the right it's gloomy. Okay, so it goes off their vibe. You can have some new content to snack on as well. Oh my god, Caitlin Kerman? Is that you? This kind of like wavy long hair, the claw clip hair, and then also this one with the little like flick, the little strand in the middle. Love the fade on this one. Ooh, I was actually gonna say that. As someone who knows they're gonna be spending a lot of time in it, are they shareable? And they're shareable using Steam Workshop, apparently. Also, yeah, they barely moved, which is a blessing, let's be real. Of course, there are always gonna be things things that I personally want added and that everybody else wants added. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of where the feedback for like the really, really good stuff comes in, and then also what people would love to see in the future. I've already seen people suggesting like more unnatural eye colors and like contact lenses, which is a given. They can't cover everything, you know, when a game releases, nor are we expecting them to. I feel like sometimes when you're like, oh, this is what I would love to see, or like this is kind of a critique of something, I feel like sometimes that can get taken of like we're expecting it like all at launch, which definitely isn't the case, especially from such a small like indie developer. Like the team have obviously worked so hard on this, and I'm glad again that they've taken their time on it, but there are always going to be things that I would like to see in the future, and that isn't me being like this should be in the game now and like why wasn't it in the game. That's just me being like, hey, we're in early access. Like, these are the things that I do think are working. These are the things that I don't think work as well. This is what I would like to be changed in the future. And if you can't do that in early access, when can you do it? So thank you all so much for tuning in. This was very exciting indeed. I really, really want to see like some gameplay. I would love to see like a day in the life or something of a para. I want this game now. I want to get my hands on it. I want to start building characters, please. I would, of course, love to know what you all think of this. I appreciate you all so much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.